In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest technical analysis, breaking news as well. BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF has become the fastest ETF to reach $20 billion. Bitcoin has literally shaken up Wall Street. We'll also be discussing breaking news between Elon Musk and Donald Trump, discussing a crypto policy, as well as Jack Dorsey-backed Bitcoin mining pool opens up a headquarters in El Salvador. Let's go. We'll also be discussing Ethereum ETF June launch is a legit possibility as BlackRock files their S1. We'll also be discussing ARK CEO Cathie Wood talking Bitcoin with El Salvador's President Bukele and applauding his vision for a Bitcoin hub. We'll also be discussing the former FTX and Alameda executive Ryan Salami handed a 90-month prison sentence, which I believe is 7 years, in order to pay over $11 million. Also in today's show, is this a crystal ball or crazy talk? A crypto analyst predicts Bitcoin reaching $156,000 by this particular day. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more in today's show.
Oh my gosh, it's finally almost here. JV is going to talk to us. Crypto news is near. I can't stand waiting. There is no debating it. I waited all day, maybe I need a life, but Bitcoin is all I can think about day and night. Hurry, JV.
Let's go. Welcome everyone to the live stream. Shout out to Chandy for producing that. Shout out Squirrel Bait, just gifted 5 crypto memberships to the channel. So shout out to One Punch Man. We have Happy Hodler, Mark Frivas. We have Jeremy Ragsdale and Palm Beach Chris. You've all been hooked up on behalf of Squirrel Bait. So thank you, Squirrel Bait. Always appreciate you, broski. And if you're new to the channel, very important to smash those thumbs up. And also make sure to subscribe to the channel. And I greatly appreciate all the support. Today is pod episode number 1655. I'm your host, JV. It's May 30th, 2024. Bitcoin is a pumping, back in the green. Let's kick it off with our market watch as we do each and every day. You can see Bitcoin in the green while all the major alts are correcting and in the red. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, we're sitting at a 2.58 trillion market cap with 81 billion worth of volume for the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance at a 53% even, back on the rise, with the Ether dominance at 17.8%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past 24 hours, we have Notcoin up 37%, Jasmy up 21%, and Ordi up 17%. Below that, Arweave, Monero, Ondo, and BitGet token. Let me know, fam, which particular alts are you guys most bullish on for this bull? Holla at your boy. And checking out the crypto bubbles, let's start with the daily to get a perspective of the market. Whoa. Kind of wreck city for all the alts, minus Bitcoin and a handful of these meme coins. Just is what it is. And zooming out on the monthly, at least the majority are in the green. Safe to say about 90% over the past month as far as the alt market is concerned. And checking out the crypto greed and fear index, we're currently rated a 73 greed. Yesterday, 72. Last week, a 76. And last month, a 67 in greed. So there you have it. My crypto fam, where do you feel the Bitcoin price action is likely to close? By tomorrow, last day of the month, we're going to get a monthly close. So let me know. Do you think we can recapture 70, or do you think we'll be right back where we're at maybe now, 68, 69,000 range? Holla at your boy, I read it out loud. But anyways, let's dive into a little Bitcoin TA and see what's happening in the charts right now. Here you're looking at the 1 hour chart. Bitcoin pushed towards 69,000 at the May 30th Wall Street Open as favorable US macro data gave risk assets fresh relief. Data from TradingView track local Bitcoin price highs of 68.8 on Bitstamp. Now also, Q1 US GDP data fell in line with expectations, while jobless claims beat them, feeding into a bullish risk asset narrative based on financial conditions loosening sooner. Initial jobless claims were 219,000 week on week versus 217,000 expected, up from 215,000 the month prior, quoting SKU. Decent GDP prints with expectations and loosening labor the market. Skew noted a conversely negative response from both U.S. bond yields and the U.S. dollar strength. So the U.S. dollar index, which is the DXY, was down 0.3% at the time of this being published. Also, market expectations are within reason, according to the analysts, and according to estimates from the CME Group's FedWatch tool, markets remain dismissive of policy relaxation in the form of interest rate hikes occurring any sooner than September. The Fed's forthcoming meeting on June 12th has had 1.1% odds of producing a surprise cut on that day, meaning it's not so very likely. And now, meanwhile, there's no threat to the macro bull market, which is a good thing. In the latest edition of the Market Mosaic on May 23rd, it referenced loosening financial conditions, further sparking upside for risk on, with any pullbacks expected to be nothing more than a pause in the bull market trend, quoting them here. And if credit is relatively cheap and available, then that should be reflected by positive action in speculative asset classes. That includes areas like high yield bonds that are holding their breakout to new highs. The next era I am watching for the confirmation is with cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin in particular. Amen to that. Now, also breaking news just in, BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF has become the fastest ETF in the history of ETFs to reach the 20 billion mark. And they just went live January 11th. So that's kind of insane how fast they acquired 20 billion worth of BTC. So, yeah, I mean, charts don't lie. You can see right here, the accumulation is insane. So yeah, bring it. And also, there's news just in. Elon Musk and Trump are discussing a crypto policy as Trump highlights Bitcoin and other digital assets as a way to reach new voters. This is according to Bloomberg, and here's a little update. Elon denies the Bloomberg report, stating, "Pretty sure I have never discussed crypto with Trump, although I am generally in favor of things that shift power from government to the people, which crypto can do, especially Bitcoin." That's exactly what it does, Elon. It shifts the power from the government to the people. Bitcoin separates money from the state. We cannot say the same thing about Dogecoin, my bro. Just wanted to point that out. Next story of the day. Headline here reads, Jack Dorsey-backed Bitcoin mining pool opens a headquarters in El Salvador. El Salvador for the win. Shout out Bukele, making big moves. So yeah, Ocean Mining, a Bitcoin mining pool backed by X, co-founded by Jack, is opening a hub in Bitcoin-friendly El Salvador to establish a global presence. On May 29th, which was yesterday, Ocean officially announced its entity in El Salvador, which will function as an international hub and headquarters. The hub is located in the capital city of El Salvador, San Salvador. Let's go. Now, Ocean's president, Mark Artemico, noted that El Salvador was an obvious choice for the firm to further its decentralization efforts and get global presence. Quoting him here, with places like Venezuela and the EU imposing legislation to ban Bitcoin mining, El Salvador's political stance was in stark contrast and a beacon of hope for the industry. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Wow, that's powerful. And according to Ocean co-founder and chief technology officer Luke Desure, the pool's launch in El Salvador will help El Salvador, which made Bitcoin legal tender back in 2021, further advance the crypto adoption. Quoting them here, El Salvador is on the leading edge of Bitcoin and the Bitcoin mining adoption, and we believe Ocean's presence here will help to advance these efforts here and create new opportunities for El Salvador as well as elsewhere. Now, Ocean also mentioned looking forward to providing resources to continue the education and development of Bitcoin communities like El Salvador, including places like El Zonte, commonly known as Bitcoin Beach. Now, El Salvador's Bitcoin office head, Stacy Herbert, shout out to Stacy, welcomed the news from Ocean, noting that the company's presence in El Salvador reaffirms Bitcoin's first culture in El Salvador. Quoting her here, "We welcome Ocean and all other companies working to advance Bitcoin adoption. Let's go." The news comes about a half a year after Ocean Mining launched in late 2024. Maybe they mean late 2023. I don't know. The company operates a Bitcoin mining pool committed to providing decentralization and non-custodial, transparent mining services. Ocean is spearheaded by a longtime Bitcoin core developer, Luke Desure, and operated by Bitcoin Ocean, a subsidiary of Mamolin, a Wyoming corporation and successor of Elegius Man, these terms are tripping me out. Bitcoin mining pool, which operated from 2011 to 2017. And back in November of 2023, Dorsey led a 6.2 million seed round for Mamolin, which aims to support decentralized mining and enable miners to receive block rewards directly from Bitcoin. So El Salvador continues making massive moves. You even have Google out there. You have the other Jack Mahler's company Strike out there with a headquarters as well, because it just makes too much sense not to. So kudos to them. Also, Cathie Wood, big story. I'll be sharing some updates and some news regarding that again today because it's big, but we shared in yesterday's episode. Bukele recently met with ARK Investors Cathie Wood and her strategic partners, along with Max Kaiser, Stacey Herbert, and they're masterminding some genius plays to help the GDP of El Salvador grow 10x over the next 4 or 5 years. So let's freaking go. But anyways, fam, next story of the day, let's discuss the potential of an Ethereum ETF launching in June. That's right. The United States spot Ether ETFs have a legit possibility of launching by late June, according to analysts, after BlackRock updated a key filing, which is necessary for the launch. On May 29th, yesterday, BlackRock updated its Form S-1 for its iShares Ethereum Trust with the SEC, nearly a week after the regulator approved its 19B4 filing. Both need approval for the ETF to start trading. And what I have discovered in this world, whatever BlackRock wants, BlackRock gets, meaning the regulators, the government, ultimately will do anything they say. That's what it seems like. It's almost as if BlackRock and the U.S. government are one and the same. Isn't that an interesting idea or theory? What are your thoughts, family? Anyways, quoting Balchunas here, good sign. Probably see the rest roll in soon. There will likely be another round of fine-tuned SEC comments, he added, but by the end of the June launch, it is a legit possibility. However, Balchunas kept his approval odds for around July 4th. That's a significant day, 4th of July, Independence Day. Adding that the earlier approval would be a long shot, as he outlined right here. Shout out Eric Balchunas. Now, we also have another analyst, SafeArt. Can you say fart? Said BlackRock's updated S1 is almost certainly the engagement we're looking for, as it shows issuers and SEC are working towards the spot Ether ETF launches. Now, BlackRock's amended S1 gave information about its seed capital investor, the entity that allocates money to the fund so it can start trading. On May 21st, the investor, a BlackRock affiliate firm, agreed to purchase 10 million in shares on May 21st, and on May 21st, twice on the same day, interesting, and took delivery of 400,000 shares at a per share price of $25, at least according to the filing. The filing also noted the ETF would list and trade under the ticker ETHA. So ETHA. This sounds like a Canadian term. ETHA? You got yourself any ETHA? Just saying. It comes the same day as the filing shows Hashdex pulled its bid for the spot Ether ETF, just a day after the SEC approved it, alongside BlackRock and 7 other investors. A source familiar with the application shared that Hashdex no longer intends to move forward with a single asset, Ether ETF. Analysts say the ETFs will see ETH reaching new highs. As some speculate, Wall Street will use it as a bet on Web3's growth. Others speculate ETH could face price pressure as the Grayscale Ethereum Trust could see 110 milli of average daily outflows for weeks after it converts and its discount narrows. So there you have it. How many of you are anticipating the official launch of the Ethereum spot ETF next month? June, which is 2 days out, just FYI, June 1st. Let me know. Next story of the day, family. Here's the latest with Cathie Wood, who just met up with President Bukele over in El Salvador. Let's discuss what they're talking about. Asset management firm ARK Investors CEO Cathie Wood, shout out to Cathie Wood, met with El Salvador's President Bukele last week. The visit, arranged by Max and Stacy, shout out Max and Stacy, included economists Art Laffer and ARK Invest research associate David Puel and Mark Seal. Quoting them here, harnessing Bitcoin and AI to turbocharge his economic and education reforms, the president could potentially increase El Salvador's GDP tenfold during his next 5-year term. Wood shared and said currently El Salvador's GDP is at a low base, approximately 30 billion, and the average income is only 450 a month. Wow, that's wild. Now, Bukele clearly understands the Laffer curve, and Art Laffer and I see many ways to build on the momentum of his tax incentives, which have been created Here's an actual photo of all these genius minds together in one room, masterminding how to expand the GDP there in El Salvador by investing in Bitcoin and AI. So Bitcoin and AI for the win. Kathy Wood continued. The president also embraced the idea of introducing ARC's Educates curriculum on technologically enabled innovation, including robotics, energy storage, AI, blockchain, and multiomics. I don't even know what multiomics are. To schools in El Salvador. Since 2020, our educators have adapted ARC's research to be age appropriate. The ARC Invest boss further shared in our conversation, I found Bukele incredibly knowledgeable, highly engaging, and vision driven. I can see why he is extremely popular not only in El Salvador, but throughout Latin America, Spain, and Portugal. Watch this leader and his country, she opined. President Bukele's determination to transform El Salvador into a hub for the Bitcoin and AI communities, two of the most significant economic and technological revolutions in history, is why I believe it is the real GDP, which could potentially increase tenfold during the next 5 years. So there you have it, my crypto fam. Let's discuss this guy, Ryan Salami from FTX. He was one of the executives. He just got sentenced to 90-month prison. I think that's 7 years. So someone can run the math, in order to pay $11 million. So here you go. A U.S. judge sentenced Ryan Salami. I don't even know if that's how you genuinely pronounce the last name, but it looks like salami, so I'm going to stick with it. One of the top executives of the collapsed crypto FTX empire. 7.5 years. Jesus Christ. Jewess Kaplan issued the sentence on Tuesday following Salami's guilty plea to conspiracy to make unlawful political contributions. Shame on you, donating to Biden's Democratic Party. How dare you, in my Greta voice, and defraud the Federal Election Commission and conspiracy to operate an unlicensed money transmitting business. Want to know the one thing I respect the most already about Salami? He admitted to it. He pleaded guilty. The opposite of what Bankman-Fried did. And we all know they're all involved in it, right? So, I mean, come on. Salami was the former co-CEO of FTX Digital Markets, the Bahamian subsidiary of the bankrupt crypto exchange, also the founder of the American Dream Federal Action Political Action Committee, PAC. Rest in peace, Tupac. The 30-year-old is accused of participating in a scheme that used FTX, Alameda Research, and an entity called North Dimension, that's interesting, to transmit FTX customer funds without a license. Well, you probably figured, well, I'm in the North Dimension. Who cares? Salami, the FTX founder, and Bankman-Fried and the FTX executive Nishad are also said to have made over 300 unlawful political contributions, totaling tens of millions of dollars that were meant to improve FTX's profile and curry favor with candidates who may help pass legislation favorable to the exchanges. I say audit Gary Gensler and Elizabeth Warren and all the other corrupt mofos, you know what I mean, in power. That's what I'm saying. Where did all this money go? And also, the U.S. Attorney Damian Williams says Ryan Salami agreed to advance the interests of FTX, Alameda Research, and its co-conspirators through an unlawful political influence campaign and through the unlicensed money transmitting business, which helped FTX grow faster and larger by operating outside of the law. Salami's involvement in two serious federal crimes undermined public trust in American elections and the integrity of the financial system. Today's sentence underscores the substantial consequences of such offenses. And aside from the prison term, he also will receive a sentence of 3 years of supervised release and was ordered to pay more than $6 million in forfeiture and more than $5 million in restitution. I'm just thinking out loud. But if you got sentenced to prison, why would you pay any fines? You're in prison. What's worse? You got the worst thing that can happen to you. You're in prison. So it's kind of crazy. But maybe instead of getting a 30-year sentence or a life sentence, it's like, yo, serve 7.5 years. Maybe you get out in 3 years for good time and just pay the $6 million and so be it. But anyways, fam, let me know your feedback on that story. I find that interesting. I think we still have yet to get the sentencing of Carolina Ellison, you know, the one with the grippy from Mississippi that Bankman-Fried loved. Yeah, so we'll keep you posted. Anyways, fam, now for our feature story of the day, before we get this Trump verdict. Let's discuss this crypto analyst saying Bitcoin will hit 156,000 per coin by May 2025. In fact, he gives a particular date, which makes it that much more enticing. So let's break this baby down. Then we'll dive into our live Q&A as we await the verdict from the Trump trial. So yeah, let's go. Let's actually start with his tweet. And shout out to Cryptorific. He wrote, Bitcoin can hit 156,000 by May 27th. 2025, which is ultimately 1 year from today. These green boxes represent the price action after the Bitcoin halvings. We have never seen a red year after a halving. Bitcoin halvings are significant events. Here are the percentages of Bitcoin's price increase 1 year after each halving event to date. Starting with the first halving, November 28th of 2012. The price at the time of the halving was $12.35. Whoa. Price 1 year later, $1,000. The percentage increase, almost 8,300%. That's what's up. Second halving occurs July 9th, 2016. That price at that time, $650 per biddy. Price 1 year later, $2,500 per biddy. Percentage increase, almost 300%. Third halving, May 11th, 2020. The price at the time, $8,800 per biddy. 1 year later, $5,600 per biddy. Percentage increase, 536%. Fourth halving just occurred April 19th. What was that? Last month. Price at the halving, $65,400. Expected price 1 year later, between $115,000 and $156,000. Percentage increase, 127% at $156,000. So look how conservative the numbers are. Just want to point out the conservativeness, which I do respect as well. Under promise, over deliver, as Bitcoin always does. But we've had increases of 8,300%, 300%, 500%. Even if it's only 127% increase for the cycle, that's still $156,000 per coin. Let that sink in, haters. This return is decent as compared to the previous rallies. And looking at the bigger picture, it's crucial if you want to see significant changes in your portfolio. And if you like this content, show the analysts some love, as I just did. And but let's read a little deeper into the story here. Following the fourth halving last April, this analyst predicts a potential price surge of nearly 130% by next year this time. This translates to a price tag of roughly $156,000 as outlined here in the chart. And despite the bullish outlook, the analyst acknowledges the current short-term volatility. Bitcoin is currently trading below the peak, reflecting a 5% dip. However, he identifies a technical indicator, which is the inverse head and shoulders pattern, suggesting a potential breakup for the price. The analyst's perspective doesn't shy away from presenting contrasting viewpoints. Others take a more nuanced approach, expressing caution, optimism for the short-term trajectory. They acknowledge the diminishing bearish scenarios and believe that the market might be in an earlier bullish phase compared to his prediction. I want to know your actual thoughts. I personally think this is extremely conservative for the cycle peak for this year, the epoch for Bitcoin. I personally feel we could hit 156,000 this year. Some of the analysts, I think it was Tom Lee of Fundstrat, also said his base case for this year is $150,000. I think cycle peak wise, my range is way more bullish. It's anywhere between 222,000 and 750,000 per coin next year in 2025. So I would be stunned if we only hit 156,000. But even if that's all it was, I'm happy. I'm a happy man. I got into Bitcoin back in 2017 when it was $1,500. So looking at that price, not too shabby. But again, under promise, over deliver. What are your thoughts on this? In my opinion, very conservative prediction. Let me know, and I'll read as many of your comments out loud as I can as we're awaiting the official verdict from the Trump trial. The judge is back on the bench. Boo! Boo! Boo that man. Is it a man? I don't know. Boo. Just saying. Bull the F up. Thank you, Squirrel Bait. Thank you. Why do people sweat the small things so much? Bitcoin is what it is. You believe or you don't. Personally, Santa always came when I believed. That's right. You got to have faith. Faith is key in this dimension, in this realm we are operating in. Without faith, what do we have? And faith is the one thing they can never take away from us alongside our biddies. So you got to have faith in biddies. Well said. Personally, Santa, which is what I still do. My father used to always teach me, in order to receive, you must believe. Molly, maybe it should be called a double instead of a halving because Bitcoin becomes 2x more scarce. What if we add a zero this cycle peak and we get a big fat 680,000 price action Take that, Bears. 450,000. Let's go. Trump and defense are seated waiting for the jurors. Good Lord. CNN update. Trump leans back in his seat. I wish I had the lean back song right now because I'm about to lean back. Lean back. Lean back with it. Lean. Come on. Interesting. Fifth. Yeah, we're really operating in the fifth dimension, but 100% with you on that. We're the fifth dimension G's, as you put it. You are blessed, JV. Definitely happy for you to get your channel back. Thank you, Cosmocom. Now all we got to do is remove the shadow ban so we can get thousands of people on the stream. That's our next step. But baby steps, right? Baby steps. Guilty. You pulling my leg, Mr. Bone Daddy? Guilty on 10? What? You kidding me? Guilty? No. I'm shocked. I don't know. Guilty count 1. Guilty count 2? How many counts are there? Can you hang out a few more minutes? Yeah, I'm going to hang out. We got a verdict. We've been waiting, yo. I'm going to hang out with you guys. Guilty count 3? Guilty of what again? What is he even guilty of? I'm kind of like, I don't get it. Guilty count 4. Get out of here. It's going to be anonymous guilty? What the fudge? Serious? Guilty count 5, 6, 7, 8. What the Get out of here. He's guilty on everything? There's 34 counts? No way. No, I don't accept it. There's no fudging way. He's guilty on 34 counts? Everything? Oh my God. Oh my God. OMG. It's hard for me to even accept this is happening. So what does that mean now? Can he still run for president? Is he going to be arrested? Is he going to have house arrest? Banana Republic for sure. Sad state of affairs. Good Lord. This is the worst news. Good Lord. Better stock up on everything, folks. Sounds like everyone's going to be moving to El Salvador. Bukele. Here we come, bro. Good Lord. You got to be kidding. Well, here's the thing. We all know the lower courts are extremely corrupt. There's no way he's going to be found guilty in the appeal with the Supreme Court. There's just no way. So it don't mean nothing. From my understanding, you get a guilty verdict, you appeal it to the higher court where there's actually justice involved, and they have to have 3 other judges, different set of eyeballs looking at this thing. There's just no way. I protest this civil war. Well, one man is happy right now, and his name is, actually, there's a few men. De Niro, Bill Gates, and everyone who was on Gilligan's Island. They're, like, celebrating this right now. Shit. 34-0. Some lawyers are having a very bad day. If you listen closely, you can hear his polling numbers moving up, right? I think it's more people are going to vote for him. People hate injustice. Justice is great. Injustice is a disaster. I can't believe it. He can run for president in Puerto Rico. Man, what the 30? He got 34 felonies now? What the? This is unprecedented. This never happened. Now I'm crying more. Worst day in a while. Release the tears. It's okay to get it out, Chandy. I feel for you. Rikers, God, this is so bad. Who picked the jury? Trump hater. WEF supporters are happy. Fact. Go Brandon. Jesus Christ. He can still run as a felon. The Dutch NSA head. My husband's sad. All the jurors are Democrats. How is that even legal? How is that even legal? You got to trump it up. Man. I'm not in the mood to trump it up no more. What the Kendrick, where you at, bro? We need a diss track.
That fuck 'em up. Wop, 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 wop. I'ma do my stuff.
Why you messing with Trump? Ain't you tired? trying to strike a chord, and that's probably A minor.
They not like us. They not like us.
Man, this is the biggest BS. I wasn't anticipating being found guilty on all counts. I'll tell you that. There's no way he can get a fair trial in New York. And he's from New York. Brooklyn. Come on, bro. Definitely a matrix attack.